everybody, and welcome back to another book review. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all a book that I absolutely loved reading, that I highly recommend you add to your fall TBRs. Of course, I'm talking about none other than Cassandra Ramos-Gomez's newest upcoming middle grade debut, Lost on Doll Island. For those of you that do not know what this book is about, Lost on Doll Island is an upcoming middle grade horror that focuses on our main character, Diego, who feels extremely trapped. Not only literally trapped in a cast, but trapped with his aunt and uncle in Mexico City. When Diego is forced to stay with his aunt and uncle, he starts to hear voices in the night calling out to him that he believes to be a doll, whispering things to him in his dreams. Diego gets to go with his friends and his entire class on a field trip to the most creepiest, scariest island known to anyone, the Island of Dolls, also known as La Isla de las Muñecas, and will soon discover that there is something seriously wrong on the island. And Diego will soon begin to realize that there is a lot more sinister things at play than he thinks, and there is many creepy dolls that are watching him while he's on this island. Honestly, you can read this book in one sitting. It's very quick-paced, and this book is only 180 pages long, so it's the perfect length for a middle grade horror. I went into this book thinking, okay, it's gonna be just your typical middle grade doll story, but no, it was so much more than I thought. Because for those of you that do not know, La Isla de las Muñecas, or the Island of Dolls, is a real place that you can visit in Mexico. The way that Cassandra wrote the storyline, you just felt like you were right there with the characters. You can see the fog rolling in front of you, and how it's starting to rain and get dark and gloomy outside, approaching the island, seeing all the dolls. It was just such an immersive experience. I loved the uniqueness of the challenges that all of the characters ended up going through. It's situations that the characters were put in that you would never ever imagine, and I loved how they were still scary, but definitely playing to the horror aspect without being too overly scary. And I really appreciated that. At times, this book felt Haunted Mansion-esque, and you will see what I mean as you get further into the story, how the book starts to feel very much like a play on many spooky movies, but it also is a great beginner horror for any little ones that you have in your life that really would love to read a scary book without them having to be terrified to keep their nightlights on at night. I love supporting debut authors, most especially middle grade debut authors. Being a middle grade author myself, I've watched so much content on La Isla de las Muñecas on YouTube for so many years, so when I saw that this book was coming out, I knew I had to get my hands on it. And again, a huge thank you to Simon & Schuster and to Cassandra Ramos-Gomez for allowing me to read and review and share a copy with all of you of this book. Lost on Doll Island is available everywhere books are sold online, so pre-order your copy right now. This book comes out August 26th, so do not miss the opportunity to pre-order it. Muchos besos, Cassandra.